What's up guys, welcome back to CardSpot. My name is Ethan and today we have more Yugi news for you. This is Yugi News episode 2 for the week of the 16th of October. We're picking up where we left off last week with some new points of interest for you in the world of TCG, OCG, Masterduel, you name it, we've got it. So kicking it off with the TCG, we have a new announcement from Konami about OTS Pack 24. Before we've even got OTS Pack 23, before we even completely know what's in OTS Pack 23, we have the first confirmed Ultimate Rare for OTS Pack 24, and it is... that's right, Rock of the Vanquisher. So this is going to be, in my opinion, a really nice looking ultimate. I always think Link monsters look nice as ultimates, and it is the boss, well not the boss monster, but a really important part of the Vanquish Soul deck. Of course it is getting more support as well, and it has been doing quite well of late in terms of tops around different regionals, and I think even YCS I'm pretty sure. So keep an eye on this one, it might be worth a decent chunk of coin when it comes out. We've also seen a new look at the box art for Maze of Millennia, which is a set coming out in the early months of next year, and it's a follow-on from Maze of Memories, and of course Maze of Memories this year gave us the Gate Guardian support, so Maze of Millennia might further that, but it's more looking like, from what we can tell at the box art, maybe some Flame Swordsman support. It looks very much like there could be some Salamandra retrains, Flame Swordsman retrains, something like that. So if you're a fan of Joey Wheeler, I'd say you're probably going to be eating pretty well from this pack. We also know that this pack has the Bonfire card in it, which is the searcher for pyro types, as well as a bunch of new Earthbound Immortal support as well. In terms of events, while there's still a bunch of regionals and things happening, it's also been Age of Overlord Premiere Weekend, so this actually is the first time in the TCG that duelists have been able to get their hands on Age of Overlord cards, and it's also the first time you can get that nice Age of Overlord mat. It's a pretty sweet looking mat in my opinion, so hopefully your Premiere events went well. Unfortunately here in New Zealand, it's been delayed again, as seems to be the norm, but I'm eagerly awaiting the arrival of my Age of Overlord case, hopefully next week, and there'll be a case opening up on the channel as soon as I can. Alrighty, moving over to OCG now, which of course just means TCG but delayed a little bit. We have some new GOTY cards confirmed for Phantom Nightmare. So they've got two new cards so far anyway. The first one is potentially called Haze of the GOTY. It is a water level 2 fish effect monster, 0 attack, 1500 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name once each per turn. If you control a fish monster, you can special summon it from the hand, just a straight up extender. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can target one of them and one of your banished level 6 or lower fish monsters, banish both the opponent's target and this card, and if you do, special summon the other target. So it's basically you swap this and your opponent's monster for a level 6 or lower banished fish, which is also pretty cool, given what the deck does. And during your standby phase of the next turn, after this card was banished, you can special summon this banished card. Okay, that's pretty good. They also have what's potentially called Moonlight of the GOTY, which is a water fish level 6 effect monster, 2400 attack, 0 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once each per turn. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can add one fish monster from your deck to your hand, except the Moonlight of the GOTY. You can then banish one fish monster from your hand or face up field. So this one's pretty good. The big thing that everyone's talking about with this is it can search Super Ancient Deep Sea King Coelacanth, which is pretty nice. You just summon this, search the king, and then banish something from your hand or field. Not bad. If this card becomes banished, you can banish one fish monster from your hand, face up on the field or graveyard, except Moonlight of the GOTY, and special summon this card. So you normal summon it, you search your Coelacanth, you banish it, you banish something else and special summon it back. It's pretty cool. So those are the two new cards for GOTY, but it doesn't end there. Also in Photon Hypernova is a new synchro monster called Fish Lamp. It is a level 4 fire fish synchro tuner effect monster. That's not easy to say. Attack 1200, defense 400. It just requires one tuner and one or more non-tuner monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can special summon 2 lamp tokens. Fire fish level 2, attack 0, defense 0. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except fish monsters. And if you control a fish synchro monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one card on the field and destroy it. So this is also really good for Goatee, and you cannot tell me that this is not Chi-Yu from Pokemon. There's interestingly similar there. Continuing with the Phantom Nightmare cards, and really there's a whole bunch that have been announced, including a whole Goblin archetype, so I recommend checking out the full set list in the link in the description below. But I just wanted to give a special shout out to a new card that's been confirmed called Dark Guardian. It is a dark level 12 warrior monster with 3800 attack and defense each. And it's always treated as a Gate Guardian card. It cannot be normal summoned or set, it must be special summoned with the spell card Dark Element, or from your hand or graveyard by shuffling one Sanga, one Kazijin, and one Suijin into the deck from among your face-up cards on the field, in your hand, or graveyard, or your face-up banished cards. So anywhere, basically, that's not the deck, you can shuffle them back to the deck. And special summon this guy. He cannot be destroyed by battle, and if it's special summoned with Dark Element, it's unaffected by other monster effects and your opponent's activated spell effects. So I wanted to just specially mention this because we're starting to see the OCG support the new Gate Guardian cards that we got in Maze of Memories, which I think is really cool, and I'm excited to see if there's any more in this set that we get to look forward to. Continuing on in OCG, we got a little bit more information about what's going to be in the Terminal World set, which is a new set coming out over there soon. And the big thing is that it includes Genex monsters. So obviously, if you remember, Genex, Undyne, and Controller particularly, also Birdman, having some impact on the meta like 12, 13 years ago, well, they're getting some more support and some retrains, which is really cool. Namely, what is currently being called Arms of the Genex Return Zero, which is a synchro monster, level 10 dark machine. It is 3100 attack and 2950 defense. It requires a dark tuner and one or more non-tuner monsters. When your opponent activates a monster effect, this is a quick effect, you can banish one monster from your graveyard with the same attribute as that monster, but a different one than those banished to activate this effect of this card's name this turn. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the monster. Once per turn, you can target up to 6 of your Genex monsters with different attributes that are banished or in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then you can destroy up to that many cards in the spell and trap card zone. So, this is kind of generic, like all it requires is a dark tuner. It doesn't require like a dark Genex tuner, it's just a dark tuner, and it's a potentially more than one negate per turn if you've got multiple attributes in your graveyard. So you effectively can always get one negate because there's no banished attributes. You can potentially get 2, 3, up to 6, I think. So that's pretty good. You can check out the rest of the Genex cards. I'll put a link in the description to the Terminal World set so you can have a look at the others. The other one that I'll mention is a Link monster that they're getting called Repair Genex Controller. It is a Link 1 Dark Machine effect monster. It has 1200 attack. It requires just one level 4 or lower Genex monster. You can only special summon Repair Genex Controller once per turn. If this card is Link summoned, you can add one Genex monster from your graveyard to your hand. Once per chain, if a Genex monster is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon one Genex monster. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except by synchro summoning using a Genex tuner as material. So it doesn't say just Genex synchro monsters, it says just Genex tuner monsters, which means you can still synchro for other things as long as you're using a Genex tuner. And of course, adding one back to your hand for a Link 1 is pretty good, and getting that extra normal summon as well, because you're always going to be able to summon off its own ad, which is really nice. So those are two pretty important Genex cards. I encourage you, if you're keen to see, check out the rest in the link down below. Alrighty, so that does it for our OCG and TCG news. In terms of decks that topped events, there is one that I wanted to point out this week. It is Traptrix actually topped a regional. So the duelist was Emerson Hall, and it was the Hartford regional with approximately 400 players, which is pretty big. And I don't know heaps about the Traptrix strategy, but from what I see, there's some cool stuff in this deck list. So if you're interested, it's up on the screen now, and you can also check out the link in the description below for more info. And finally, with some Masterduel news, we have the 2023 Duelist Cup starting very soon, in fact on the 17th of October. The Duelist Cup is Masterduel's premier PvP event with the focus of primarily dueling against other duelists. This event is mostly for competitive players who want to see how good they are against other seasoned players around the world with their best and strongest decks. Players will most likely have a unique rating called DLV, which serves as their eligibility for the tournament proper. Players' DLVs are determined by their placement in ranked duels before joining the event. To be specific, the final placement being based from the ranking in Season 21, which was September 2023. So if you're keen to get in some competitive duels on Masterduel and maybe work your way towards the World Championships, this is it, because it is confirmed that the top ranked players at the end of round 2 of Duelist Cups are now going to receive a World Championship Finals invitation as team leaders. This means that every Duelist Cup now serves as a World Championship qualifier. Alrighty guys, there you have it. That's all the news that I could find from this week. If there's anything I missed, let me know in the comments down below. If you think this video has been helpful or enjoyable, also let me know in the comments down below. If you don't want to miss out on these kind of videos, you can hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And I will be opening a case of Age of Overlord next week, hopefully, as long as the case actually arrives in the country in time. So let's see how that goes. Alrighty guys, that is it for me today. I will see you in the next video.